Hi, this is Oona from Make Your Own. In this video I'm going to show you how you can make your own laptop case by using the materials you can find in our package. So yeah, let's get going. Okay, so let's start with the first chain. To begin, you make a simple pull knot in the beginning, so you can do this the way you want, but basically you just twist around the yarn and you take this part through so that you get a loop of this one, and then you tighten this one. Now we tighten this loop around the hook and leave about 10 centimeters here. And that's it. Then we start working. We start making the chain, and this would be the short end of your computer. So we will later on measure this one with your computer. And you go through with your hook, take the yarn, and come through with the yarn. And then you keep making this chain. Try to not to do this one too tight. So make it a little bit loose, as you can see here. If you make it too tight, it will cause you some problem later on. So keep your hand steady and relaxed so you don't pull it too hard. And this is how you continue making the chain until it's the right length for your computer, and I will now show you how you measure it. Okay, let's measure the chain with the computer. As you can see, I tried to make mine a bit loose, so it wouldn't be too tight for the next row. And let's see how the size actually is. So here we have, I have a MacBook 12, so it's quite small. Let's see how it fits. Okay, so this one is a bit too long. So I would here take away maybe 2 loops from the chain. So adjust the size to yours, either add 1 or 2 or take away some. And now I think the size is pretty good. So the chain should cover the computer so that you don't have to pull it too much, and it still covers the computer. And if you pull a little bit, it will go over just a bit on the edge. So I think this is pretty good size, and now I will show you how you start with the second row. Okay, let's start going back and make the second row. So you see that you have a loop that's holding a hook here. Don't do anything with this one, that's the closest one. Jump over that one and go to the next one. And you go through the chain with a hook, take the yarn, come back with the yarn, so you temporarily have 2 loops on your hook, and then you take the yarn again through these 2 loops. So you make 1 stitch and you end up with just having 1 loop on your hook. Then you go over to the next one, go through the chain with your hook, take the yarn, come back with the yarn, so you get 2 loops, and then you take the yarn again through these 2 and combine them to just 1 loop. So every time you go to the next loop, you only have 1 on your hook. So remember that, because otherwise it's easy to mix up with knitting, where you have many loops on your hook, and that's a whole nother thing. So you keep on making these stitches, just as we do here. And here you need to make sure that the chain is straight when you crochet. So you only use the upper line here, as you can see. And also, if your chain is too tight, this is when you have to go back a bit and make your chain again, because you have to be able to go through the chain with your hook without forcing it. If you need to force it, then it's too tight, and then there's a risk that you break your hook if you make it too tight. So it's better to redo the chain in that case. When you reach the end of the second row, you see you have one more here to take. I will make a stitch to this loop, and here when you come to the end you see that this side should be aligned with the first starting loop here, and that's where you have reached the end of the row. Here you make one more free loop before turning. So remember, this is really important so that your work is not getting smaller and smaller on the sides when you continue crocheting. So you make one more loop, you take this yarn through here, and then you turn the work, and suddenly you are in the beginning of the row again. And this might also be a good place to measure your work again, so you don't have to be unsure if the size is good enough. So let's do that. And here you have here I have my computer, and I think this size is pretty good. So measure your work again so you think the size is fine, and then we continue to the next row. So begin the row by jumping over the loop that's holding your hook and going over to the next one and through that one with your hook. And remember, you follow the upper line here, so don't go under both of these two, just take the upper one. And take the yarn through and make a stitch here. Then you take the upper one again and take the yarn through and make a stitch here. And now some of you might wonder why we are only using the upper line here. And this is because this is the way to make the laptop case a bit thinner, but still so it protects your laptop pretty well. So this is the pattern we just tried to get the laptop case as light as possible, so it doesn't weigh that much, but so that it also covers your computer and protects from hits. Continue crocheting like this until you reach the end of the row again, and I will once more show you how you make the turning, and without forgetting to add the one loop you need to add before turning. So now we are at the end of the row again, and I will make the last stitch to finish the row. And as you can see, with the last stitch the side is aligned again, so it's straight. And here I make one more loop before I turn the work to keep this side straight and continue to the next row. And then you continue crocheting just as you did with the previous one, and continue working. What you make here is a long sleeve that will cover the computer from both sides. So make this part double the size of your computer. So this is the short end, and this other part should be the long one, and then you make it twice as big as your computer, because later on we will attach the sides and make it a double. Yeah, good luck and have fun. So now I have continued working and done this long sleeve, which is supposed to cover my computer now. So let's see if it does. This sleeve covers both sides. It's also long enough to cover the whole computer. And now we just attach the sides, and I will show you how to do that. So when we are at the end of the row, we will start attaching the sides together. So make sure that the pattern is also matching, so it goes in the same line. And then we start by going through a loop that's on the other side. So this would be the opposite side and the first loop on the corner, and go through that one with your hook. You might have to twist it a bit, it can be tight, and take the yarn through here so that you can see that they are attached on the corner. Then you continue crocheting and attaching these sides at the same time. So you go through loops that are from the both sides and that are just on the selvage, and you crochet here, so you make a stitch here and continue to the next one. This might be a bit tricky to see which one you should use, but on the other hand, it doesn't really make that much difference. The line you're going to get here is going to be quite nice and straight still. So don't get nervous here. You see that that it looks pretty good, even though I'm not at the moment paying a lot of attention to what I'm taking here. The most important thing is that you have the pattern so that it meets on the both sides. So and you have the straight line here when you continue crocheting, because that will help you in the corner when coming back. So just try to keep your work straight, and you will find those loops to go through. And yeah, this is how you continue the whole side, and then we will make the down corner and the other side as well. Here on the corner, you just continue doing exactly as you did with the side, but just taking loops from the bottom line here. So you don't have to attach anything, but you just want to make the selvage to look similar from all the sides. So just continue crocheting here, and then when you come to the next corner, you will continue doing exactly the same thing as you did with this side. So you will attach that one in the same way. And this is how we do it. So now we are at the end of the bottom, and we continue with the next side. Take the loops that are closest to each other and attach them by making stitches until you come to the end of this side. So when you come back to this corner, you might see that the opening might look a bit different from this other side where you make the chain and started your work, as it does on this side. So to even this out and to make them look similar, we will crochet one more round around the opening. So this time you can use the whole line and just make stitches to the whole this row, and then turn around and make the other side similar as well. And this will give your work a nice finish. And when you feel like you have a knot that keeps your work in place, and so that this doesn't escape anywhere, you can just hide the rest of the yarn inside your work by helping a bit with your hook and taking the yarn through loops that you have nearby. And this is how it disappears inside your work. And yeah, you're finished. Good work. Okay, so now we are done with the laptop case. Please visit our website to see some more products from Oona, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye!